Good morning and welcome to my brand new YouTube channel. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jack. I'm a personal trainer from the UK. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about who I am and what I do over the coming videos. This is going to be a little bit of a new series. Nothing too serious. There's going to be no fancy editing or anything like that in here. It's just going to be real life, what I'm getting up to. And the main aim of this video really is to cover my new journey that I'm going on from somebody who has lifted weights for over 15 years. And basically my fitness has just been about aesthetics, how I look, how strong I am, how much muscle I've had, which I'm sure a lot of guys can relate to, probably even a lot of women as well who have spent their whole life lifting weights. Over the last 6 months or so, I've become more interested in other types of exercise. We are 1st of February 2025 today, and back in November last year, I competed in my first Hyrox event with my girlfriend Sarah. We did mixed doubles. I really enjoyed it, but if I'm honest, I really struggled. It was very humbling and it hurt a lot. I did very little training for it. And yeah, as you can imagine, it was hard. We got an okay time, to be fair. We got 1 hour 22, which we were really pleased with as kind of, particularly me. Sarah does a little bit more running and she's definitely fitter than I am. But for me, for somebody who's never done anything like that before, I was quite pleased with that. But it hurt a lot and it kind of, yeah, it was hard to, I guess, basically, what I'm saying is I just want to get better at it. So I've set myself a goal of not only beating that time, but I guess seeing how far I can go in that space and what level I could get to. Now, this is completely realistic. I've not got any running background. I've never run before. In fact, probably Hyrox is the furthest I've ever run, which is 8 kilometers. So I'm also 35 years old. I'm realistic to the fact that, you know, this isn't going to be too serious, but I do believe that you should always challenge yourself and see how far you can go in things. And anyone that knows me will know that when I'm into something, I am all in. So yeah, what this video is going to do is it's going to take you on my journey, cover my training, kind of my day-to-day life. I'm not going to record every day. I don't even know how often I'm going to upload to YouTube, if I'm honest at this point. So I'm thinking maybe once every 2 or 3 weeks. And it's just going to be short videos talking you through, this journey, I suppose. So in terms of going forward, as I said, we are on the 1st of February at the moment. We have our next event in Glasgow, which is in 5 weeks. So not long at all. I have been training for 3 weeks prior to this, so or 4 weeks, I think it is, yeah. So I think I would have had 9 weeks full training to Glasgow. That's going to be a mixed doubles with Sarah again, and the main aim of that day for me is just to try and beat our time. Like I said, 1 hour 22. If we get 1 hour 21:59, I'll be pleased. Theoretically, last time I hardly trained for it. This time we've got a little bit of experience and I am training properly for it this time. So hopefully we will do that. And then I guess the real test is in 12 weeks time, which is Barcelona. So I think it's the 26th, 27th, 28th, something like that of April. Again, me and Sarah, we're going over to Barcelona and we're competing in the solo event. So in the open races. Sarah's done one of those. She did London, end of November, I think it was last year. She did really well. She got hour 36, I think, for a first solo event. So she's doing it on the Friday, I believe, and then I'm doing it on the Saturday, which will be my first solo event. And for anyone that knows anything about Hyrox, the doubles is great, loads of fun. Obviously, you get to half the stations with your partner to give yourself some rest. The solos, you've got to do it all yourself. So naturally, it's going to be a lot harder. So that's going to be the real test, really. And I've got another 12 weeks to go. So over the last 3 weeks, I have been training, and I'm going to talk you through all my training as this video goes on. Right now, I'm not an expert. Like I say, I'm very good at programming for body composition, and I've spent years and years and years helping people lose body fat. And you know, if you don't already follow my Instagram page, go to @resultswithjack and you'll see all the work I do on there. But this is a space I'm looking to get into. It's a space I'm looking to get into personally in terms of my own training, and hopefully as I learn and develop my skills within this kind of performance area, I'll be able to help more and more people do their first Hyrox, do their first half marathon, and maybe even beyond that. We'll see. So right now, I'm conscious I don't want to make this intro too long. We're in Brighton. So You can see I'm in a hotel room. So yesterday I came down to Brighton for the Supercharged Business Injection Day, which for those of you that don't know, Supercharged is a business kind of development group for online coaches or just coaches in general, run by Ollie Carson, Dean Hammond. So we came down yesterday, we had a great day. Because it's such a long way for me from the Midlands, I ended up staying last night and I'm actually just about to go out for a run. So although I am following a training program, I'm actually going to do something a little bit different this morning, which I know doesn't sound great, not following your program so early on, but I've got an opportunity this morning to go and run along the beach, which I don't normally do. Most of my training is on a treadmill so far. I am going to incorporate a little bit more road running as this journey goes on. But obviously being down here, opportunity to run along the beach or along the promenade, I'm not going to turn that down. So my running programs at the moment are, I've got a couple of very slow, long, like zone 2s. I've got some interval training, a little bit of threshold work as well. And then some other bits and pieces. Again, I'll talk to you about it at a later date. But what I'm going to go and do this morning is I'm going to go and see how quick I can run a 5K. So I've only ever run non-stop over 5K once, which was about 3 weeks ago. I went out and did a 6-kilometre run with a couple of mates, which was a really bad idea because they're both a lot fitter than me. They ended up going on and doing 10K. I had to bail at 6K because I was done. My heart rate was in the like 180s and I was done. Like I said, I'm making no bones about this. I'm not the fittest person. I've spent a lot of time kind of trying to get in shape, build muscle, but fitness, internal fitness, you know, is something completely different, which is why I'm doing this. I want to challenge myself. So yeah, I did 6K and I went through the 5K mark at like just under 28 minutes. I think it was like 27:47 or something like that. So not quick, you know. And my aim today is to go and see if I can beat that. And I'm not going. This isn't something I'm going to be doing every week, trying to beat my 5K time. This is just an opportunity that I've got to go and run along the beach or along the promenade and get a nice run in and see if I can challenge myself and see if I've improved in the last 3 weeks. Like I say, I've been doing a lot of training, a lot of cardio, a lot of zone 2, strength work, and really taking it seriously. So yeah, anyway, I think that's enough of an intro. Hopefully you're still watching at this point, and I'm looking forward to taking you on this journey and yeah, seeing how it goes. So if you haven't done already, I really appreciate it if you drop me a subscribe and follow the channel. If you want to go onto Instagram, follow my Instagram page as well. The Instagram page is a little bit more about the business that I'm currently running, which is predominantly a fat loss business, but like I say, looking to expand that and work into other areas. Anyway, I'm babbling now, so I'm going to get dressed. I'm going to have a little bit of a warm up, have a little drink, and I'm going to get down to the beach and have a run. Catch you soon. Okay, so we're back and we managed to get a good 5K in. It was really nice down there. Like I say, I won't get the opportunity to run alongside the sea again, so I'm glad I did it. There was actually a park run going on as well down there, so there was hundreds of people running along the promenade at the same time as me. To start with, I just thought it was loads of runners out, and then there was just too many, and then you saw all the organisers and that as well. But it helped, to be fair, helped motivate me psychologically. I'm at a stage in my running, obviously very early days, where it helps just to have someone in front of me just to pace myself. One thing I struggle with is pacing myself outside. So yeah, it was really good, really nice down there. Very flat, very flat to be fair, and next to no wind. I ran 2.5 kilometers one way, turned around, and 2.5 the back. Yeah, anyway, we managed to beat my PB, so I'm absolutely chuffed. I got 25:43, so I managed to beat it by just over 2 minutes. Like I say, the last time I did it was just over 3 weeks ago, around near where I live. There was more hills involved in that, to be fair. So yeah, I'm guessing it's not a direct comparison, but still, I'm pleased with that, really pleased. I found it really hard. My issue at the moment, obviously very early days in my running career, or Hyrox training, is I don't know how to pace myself. I'm struggling to know how to pace myself. I guess I probably need a better watch. I've just got an Apple Watch. It's quite an old one as well at the moment, so it's not giving me kind of like live updates of my speed. So I ran off quite quickly. I say quite quickly for me. I think it was like my first kilometre was like 4:40 and then a 4:57. And then it went up and up and up essentially. And I did a 5:20 and a 5:31. My last couple, I think it was the other way around actually. So yeah, I went off a little quick, and then the last 1.5 kilometres was hard because of that. I was struggling, really struggling. Like I couldn't wait for it to end right at the end. Heart rate was high pretty much the whole way through, like up into the 180s at times, which I guess isn't good. And again, that's an indication of my internal fitness, me being able to deal with that, what the pressure I'm putting on my body. That's, you know, my heart rate's going up that high. So there's still lots and lots of work to be done. And realistically, in 5 or 6 weeks, whatever it is, till Glasgow, there's not loads I can do in that time. I'm obviously going to try my hardest and get as fit as I possibly can and keep working on my zone 2, keep working on my running, strength, Hyrox, all that kind of stuff. But I'm realistic to kind of know that, you know, there's not going to be huge changes, but I might knock 5 to 10 seconds off each run potentially. And then obviously a little bit of a longer term goal of Barcelona, and then we'll see after that what happens. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna get packed up. I've just seen a real cool little running shop down the road. I noticed they got a treadmill in there, and what I need is some running shoes. I don't know if you can see, just want to show you my shoes here, not very good, but I basically got some trail shoes which I bought for my last Hyrox. My thinking process behind it was I wanted some shoes with the most grip on as possible for the sled push, which is an event that takes 2 minutes. So I prioritize my shoes based around an event that takes 2 minutes of an overall event that takes, well, for me, an hour and 20, an hour and 30 minutes. So yeah, not great planning really there. So what I want to do is go and get some proper running shoes. I've been told that it makes a massive difference. I'm gonna go and see if I can measure my gait or whatever it is you call it, get some running shoes. It's probably gonna cost me a fortune. So I've just come back to the room just to get my card. And then I'm gonna get on the road and get home. One of my clients, I'm lucky enough, got loads of lovely clients. One of them's taking me to the Wolves game this afternoon, Wolves versus Aston Villa at home. I'm a Wolves fan, for those of you that don't know. Unfortunately, this season not going great. But yeah, we're gonna go up there and watch that. It's a 5:30 kickoff. It is 10:15 now, so really I could have been on the road by 11 to get back, have some food, see Sarah before we go out. So anyway, I will catch you soon, whatever we're up to later on in the week. Welcome back. So it is Monday afternoon now. So on Monday mornings, I do my in-person PT. So again, those of you that don't know me watching this channel, I've been a self-employed personal trainer in person since 2015, had my own personal training studio for around 8 years. And then unfortunately that had to close down. The council that I rented off sold it to a Lidl. So yeah, we had to move out of there. And I've been working out of a leisure centre for the last 3 years, I think it is now. So yeah, full morning of PT this morning. I think I've done 5 sessions this morning. I had a gap in there as well. One of the ladies was on holiday, so managed to get a training session in this morning at 9 o'clock between my sessions, which was nice. One of my strength sessions this week, so focusing on things like Bulgarian split squats, box squats, some seated rows, farmer's carry, and some more lunges. So basically everything specific to Hyrox movements. So strength endurance, so quite high reps, sort of 15 reps on most things, but as I've said a couple of times already, I will talk you through my training plan in a little bit more depth. So yeah, what I went to do is just show you my shoes. I said when I was in Brighton, the weekend I was going into that running shop, and yeah, I ended up getting myself some running shoes. So the shop was called the Run Company, and apparently they got 2, one in Brighton, one in Bournemouth, I think they said. 2 young lads in there, and they were brilliant, really, really good. Highly unlikely they're going to be watching this video, highly, highly unlikely. But if they are, thank you. That was the service was very, very good. They had me on the treadmill, testing my gait, first of all in my socks, and then they bought a number of pairs of shoes out that would suit my running style. I can't remember exactly what they said. Obviously, you can run neutrally, I think it is, and then there's like pronated and something else. Anyway, I was one of those 2. I can't actually remember what they said, and they bought these out along with a few other pairs, and these were like my the ones that kind of were most comfortable. They are called Mizuno. Yeah, Mizuno. So I'm not sure if that's a good brand or not. So I'm sure some of you watching this that know running shoes will be able to tell me if they are a good brand. But this shop, they didn't stock like Nike or Adidas or anything like that. It was very much like, I don't know, the specific running shoes. I'm not really sure. But they seem like a really good company, and the people in there were very helpful. They seem to know their stuff. So yeah, I actually wore them yesterday, and they got decent grip on the bottom as well. I told them what I needed it for, obviously short distance running, and a Hyrox. So yeah, they're comfortable. I wore them yesterday. Me and Sarah went to the gym. I didn't get any video, but we went and did like a little Hyrox session at her gym. Got a decent session in. We practiced our transitions. Basically, for anyone that might be doing a Hyrox, especially when you're doing doubles, you need to work on who's doing what and when. Something we didn't do last time at all, and it was a massive mistake. We got to all the exercises and we were kind of like just winging it, like whoever felt good went, and we went till we were knackered and then changed over. Whereas this time we've got a proper plan. So we practice kind of running into the ski erg and running into the sled, running into the wall balls. We had a really good session actually. But yeah, they were comfortable. So yeah, the rest of today is check-in day. So aside from my my in-person PT, which I do, it varies, but anything from sort of 20 to 24 sessions a week. I've dropped that down. I used to do like 30, 35 some weeks, but as I've picked up the online business to get more of a balance in my life, I don't do quite as many in person anymore, which is nice. Better balance means I'm not in the gym at 9 o'clock every night, means I get to concentrate on other things as well. So for me, the whole reason I went online wasn't really for financial gain. It was more for balance. I can do my online from anywhere in the world from my iPad. Gives me a little bit more flexibility rather than being tied to the gym for 35 hours a week. So I'm sure personal trainers watching this can relate to that. So today is check-in day, Monday. So everyone has to check in by Sunday at the moment. That will change. The busier I get, I will have to have multiple check-in days. But for now, everyone checks in on a Sunday and I reply to them on a Monday. So it will take me the rest of this afternoon to do that. I think I did 7 yesterday. I try and get some done on a Sunday. If I'm honest, I've got too many to do in one day at the moment. So I try and get like 5 to 7 done on a Sunday and then sort of 12 to 14 done on a Monday, which like I say, takes quite a long time. But a really good week this week. I say predominantly fat loss clients. I've got a few notes here just to kind of tell you the kind of results that we get. So this week we've got a guy called Dan that lost another 0.7 kilo. So he's lost just under 5 kilo now in 4 weeks. Emma lost 5.4 kilo in 4 weeks. Ian's lost 12 kilo in 14 weeks. Guy called Jack lost 4.5 kilo in 4 weeks. Carl and Libby both lost 4.5 kilos in 4 weeks. Russ, 5.6 kilo in 4 weeks. Laura, 8 kilo in 4 weeks. So yeah, my speciality really and kind of like my main area of work is fat loss. I help a lot of people with fat loss. So if that is something you're interested in, this online program is absolute game changer. Like everybody that does it gets amazing results. So if that is something you're interested in, just, like I say, drop me a follow on Instagram and we can have a chat. But yeah, that's basically today. And then I've got to go over to a place called Shifnal this evening to teach a bootcamp class now. I won't go into great detail about this now, but I own 2 bootcamp locations, one in Wombourne, which is near where I live, and one in Shifnal, which is where I used to live. Now, unfortunately, the one in Shifnal is just not feasible for me anymore. I've had it for 5 years, started it from scratch when I used to live over there, and the last sort of couple of years I've had to pay instructors because it's just not feasible for me to get over there as much as I'd like to. And with all the business that has grown with the online, my in-person, Wombourne boot camp as well, it's just something that's not doable anymore. So I actually announced last week that I was going to be selling the company, told all the members, told the lady that taught for me over there, and yeah, it's not been the best week, if I'm honest. Members have been brilliant. Had loads of lovely emails from the members and got a real nice relationship with those guys over there, and they like to think they know that I would do the best by them, given like my situation, and I'd never kind of leave them in the lurch, which I wouldn't. Unfortunately, my instructor walked out with less than a week's notice, which means that now, rather than going over there once a week for the foreseeable, I've got to go over there 3 times a week until I can find somebody to take it over. But I said right at the start, my priority is trying to keep it going if possible. I don't want to close it down. Like I say, the members are my priority, so that's what I'll be doing. So obviously it makes my life a little bit busier. Hopefully we get that sorted sooner rather than later. We can get a suitable person in to take that business on and keep it going forward, because it's a profitable little business, and there's a really, really great group of people over there that I would be really sad if that had to just come to an end and stop. So right, I've just got to walk the dog as well. Yeah, so once I finish these check-ins, hopefully I can get those done in enough time that I can get out and walk the dog as well. So yeah, busy old day Monday. So we've got a bit more time tomorrow. So yeah, whatever I don't get done today, check-ins are a non-negotiable. They've got to be done today. But yeah, whatever I don't get done, business-wise, social media, all that kind of stuff, will wait till tomorrow. So I'm going to crack on. Catch you later. So I said I'd talk you through my training program for this Hyrox journey that I'm on, and here it is. So we are now 4 weeks, we're in the middle of the 4th week into this journey, and I'll be honest with you, I've already made changes to this training program pretty much every week. The more I'm learning, not only about what is required to train well for Hyrox, the more I'm learning about how I can recover and what I can recover from. I've made tweaks every single week, and no doubt we'll make more tweaks from this going forward. But this is what we're working with at the moment, which I think is a pretty good start point for someone at my level, at my ability. So
the program, here we go. I'm going to talk you through each one. So we've got, first of all, an interval running session. So this is, I go into the gym on a treadmill, and at the moment what I'm doing is I'm setting it at a speed of like an easy jog for sort of 400 meters, then going into kind of like a middle ground kind of run. So I think at the moment I'm doing like 11 kilometers per hour into 14 kilometers per hour for a couple of 100 meters, and then I'm doing 200 meters at 18 kilometers per hour, which for me is pretty much a sprint, and then a couple of 100 meters walk, and then I repeat that 4 or 5 times. So that's getting my heart rate up really high, up into kind of like the high 170s, low 180s when I'm sprinting. So interval training. We've got a long run. This is what I did yesterday. Unfortunately, my new trainers that I wore yesterday are rubbing me, which isn't ideal. I think I probably made a mistake, to be fair. I did a 12.5 kilometer run yesterday on the treadmill in brand new running shoes. And I guess those of you watching this will be like, Jack, you idiot. Like, why did you do that? They were fine until about the 8K mark. And then they started rubbing me just on the insides of my feet. I should have stopped, but I was just like, no, I want to run 12 kilometers. Yeah, and now I've got 2 little blisters on the inside of both my feet. So not ideal. Anyway, my long run. So this is designed just to get me running for a long period of time, not fast. So this is kind of easy paced, just to get miles in the legs and get me used to exercising for a long period of time. Yeah, so I think I did 80 minutes yesterday, so an hour 20. So the similar kind of length as what I'm hoping Hyrox is going to take us. And then I've got my zone 2 work. So this can be running. So I'm trying to get at least 1, if not 2 zone 2 runs in a week. For those of you that don't know, zone 2 is kind of like low heart rate. So you find out your max heart rate, and then it's 60 to 70% of that. So for me, around 111 to 129, which if I'm honest, I really struggle to keep my heart rate in that zone. I have to run like as slow as I can, like 7.4 on the treadmill, and even then I'm struggling to keep it down. But I also do some zone 2 on the rower or the bike as well, depending on my recovery. So like today, after I did my strength session, the Hyrox session Sunday, strength session Monday, a long run yesterday, my legs are quite sore. So today I'm just going to go and do a nice slow zone 2 on the bike, just a bit of like a recovery session, keep my heart rate at around 125. So I'm doing each of those once a week, and then I've got one Hyrox day. So I've got 2 different Hyrox conditioning days here. I'll just open them up. So we've got sled push. Just get this so I can move it down. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. There you go. So like sled push, sled pull, wall ball, superset with some ergs either side. And I've got a couple of different days of those. And basically I'm doing those once a week, or one of them once a week, not both of them, sorry. I think a misconception for people training for Hyrox is they've got to do Hyrox stuff all the time. So they've got to be in pushing sleds, doing wall balls. And it's just not true. Once a week is probably enough for most people. And it's best off using your other sessions to bring up everything that you need in Hyrox. And then we've got 2 sessions, so 2 strength sessions, so strength endurance. So everything that I'm doing training wise is to benefit Hyrox. I'm not doing one single movement that is kind of wasted. So everything there is to bring up something in the Hyrox, either whether it's a fitness conditioning tool, or like the zone 2 or the intervals, or whether it's Bulgarian split squats or rows to improve like sled pull or walking lunges. And just build up strength in the legs. And so the endurance session is more like high reps. So more like a normal gym session really, but like 15 to 20 reps, fairly high, going as heavy as I can, mostly leg exercises in this routine. Just come down here, we've got a superset farmer carry, walking lunges, and some Copenhagen planks at the end. And then a strength session, a power session, which is more working on explosive power. So like burpee box jumps, dumbbell snatches, step ups, slam balls. This one's going to get your heart rate up a little bit higher, a little bit like what Hyrox will be like on the day. Still fairly high reps here, but more explosive power, which is going to help on those exercises on the day. So that is pretty much it for now. Obviously a lot of sessions I'm having to double up some days, but like your zone 2 is just like so easy and steady. It takes time, but it's not really taxing at all on the body. So yeah, I'm getting in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to 8 sessions a week I'm doing at the moment. I'm trying to have 1 full day of rest and doubling up on a couple of days. Like I say, the interval runs only takes half an hour. I can do that in the morning, and then I can go and do a strength session on the evening or a zone 2 on the evening. You can easily double up there, providing you can make the time. So yeah, that's pretty much, and this will probably change as well. Like I say, I'm still fairly early on in my programming stage for performance-based events. I've got a massive amount of experience in programming for body composition and just generally in the gym. It's what I've done for years and years and years. But this is a little bit different, so it's going to take a little bit more getting used to and learning like the requirements. And then obviously it all depends on the person. If I'm working with somebody who's got a massive running background, then they're not going to need to do quite as much running at this stage. Or if I'm working with someone who has got maybe a big strength background but not as much running, then they might have more running. So there's loads of different scenarios. But yeah, that is my program I'm following at the moment, and yeah, we'll see how it changes over the coming weeks and months.